Danny Sullivan here, Florida Baseball Armory. With the season winding down, we're getting lots of questions about should I shut it down? Should I keep throwing? It's a constant question. And the answer is, well, it just depends on where you are. If you're a guy who is behind his competitive peer group and you need to gain velocity, and you need to gain command, and you need to improve your arm health or your secondary stuff, you probably don't need to shut down. You need to catch up while everybody else is shut down. If you're a dude who has thrown a lot and you're well ahead of your competitive peer group, even then we don't like the idea of a total shutdown. We looked at the Major League Disabled list, it was called back then, from 2017, and we looked at the month-by-month injury reports, and March and April were clearly the most injured months for big league pitchers, and we think it's because they had this long shutdown. The ramp up was a little too quick, so a lot of our big leaguers now are going to more of a year-round throwing program. The difference is that we don't have to throw hard all year. What we do is we go into what we call an incubation period. If you've pitched a lot of innings and you're well ahead of your competitive peer group and your ability, and you want to cool it out just a little bit, then we go into an incubation period where we throw 3 days a week in the training sock. The training sock is about half the stress of a regular throw when we look at it with a 7-ounce ball. And so we like to do that for 3 days a week just to keep the tissue organized, right? Every day that you don't throw, your tissue begins to heal and it begins to organize itself. We don't guide the organization of the thing. It just organizes like a plate of spaghetti noodles that you left in the sink all night, and we got to change that into along the lines of the planes of motion that we have to throw in. And so what we like to do is just keep it moving. And just same thing if you're in the weight room, getting bigger and stronger, which we encourage in the off season. But every time you hypertrophy a muscle, it has a new coordinative demand. So we want to keep the tissue organized by throwing 3 days a week in the sock. And then about 12 to 16 weeks out, we start ramping up for when you have to be ready for eyes that matter. And we gradually build up to full intent by the time we're done, okay? So shut down, keep throwing. There's a hybrid in the middle that we like. If you need to go into incubation period, then you shut it down for a little while. If you need a mental break for a while, that's cool too. But just remember, for every week you take off, you probably need about 2 to ramp back up. So like to keep the tissue organized all the time, physiologically and neurologically, so that we get a rolling start for our ramp up and then we're never behind schedule.